What's up, world? It's your boy, the Bearded Brother, with another episode of the Bearded Tastings. It's a special one, y'all. I got my homie, Justin, a.k.a. Brew N Circles, a.k.a. Pastor Singleton.
That's only my LinkedIn profile.
Yes, yep. Alluding to his LinkedIn profile. Check him out there. I had to do my head this morning.
Okay.
Because I was telling Ashley, I was like, I can't have him all outbald me on my own show. Like, I was like, let me.
I should know the bald up. What if we get some cocoa butter on here?
Right. I was like, I got my shea butter I got from the African Street Festival.
Oh man.
I had to get right. I was like, I can't be outdone on my own show. But my guy
I got
here.
compared to you. Somebody was like, oh, so you're Kramer. I'm like, no, I'm the other guy that's bald and black. And
It's the other dude. I was like, you just had to go bald. I was like, ever since you went bald, we get confused. They're like, oh, you're DJing, and I was like, no. I like music, but I don't spin it. I don't DJ it at all. Wish I could though, but
yeah, that's hilarious.
all right, man.
Love the song to song. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Right. Just the perfect song for a perfect day.
Oh yeah.
So, but I just want to talk to you about coming off the heels of your last bottle share of the year, man. Where did that idea come from for the bottle share and mixing it with music and hanging out at the Groove?
It was, I don't know. I think so. When I started Brew N Circles back during the pandemic, this was a pandemic baby of mine, and I just knew because I do the pairing with the Beer Records. I was just like, when the sun comes out, I want to do something outside.
There you go. Yep.
I just have to do something outside.
That's law right there.
Exactly.
That is law.
If the sun is out, you need to be out. So I just knew it was the perfect opportunity just to get up and just like do something. So seeing that it was an actual record store, and the whole point of highlighting records and beer together, I just knew that I had something had to be done. And of course the first one was on the inside. It was slick in January.
Right.
You want to be outside for then. But,
no. Not in Nashville.
Not
Hell
in
no.
Nashville, because heck, it could have been summer that day, or it could have been 30 degrees below zero for all we know. So that's just Nashville weather for you. But it was just something that it had to be done, and I think that made it came before the whole Instagram profile. To tell you the truth, just actually doing the events. I think it didn't, but I'm just saying like mentally in my mind when I planned it out. I was
about to say, did it really?
No, it had to. I think that was my something I want to create. As soon as I created Brew N Circles, it was just like it just came along together at all times. So it's just like I have to do it.
Might as
well.
well.
And it happened, man.
And how did you get into music? Like, were you just growing up around music and you just loved it, or you just like were hanging out in college and someone's like, "Yo, check this out"?
I think it had to do a lot being around it. Like my mom, she played the piano and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she always wanted us to we used to make an attempt to play some instruments. So I did piano for all of a blink of an eye, and then
that was me with clarinet and saxophone. I was fire on that in middle school. So
my mama, she got like, look, I'm tired of paying money. Y'all not practicing, so And then I did drums in middle school and actually made the high school band, but And I didn't play. I ended up playing football and band did not mix at the same time. Some schools they're like, okay, you come in the spring and play band when the other sports over with, but my town was a band town, so it was just like band or nothing else. Band or die,
You're right.
So I just always been around music, and then I remember my mom, she used to have she never played her records, but the records are always just around the house, and I was like, man, I would love to play some of them one day, and that's been hooked ever since, man. So it's like music has always been around the family. Now I think about it, and
I feel that. I came from a music family as well. It's kind of there, but weirdly enough, I didn't go in music the way you did.
Yeah.
But I was like, I appreciate it, and I can hear talent when it's there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you said your hometown's a band town.
Yeah.
Where is your hometown?
So Walterboro, South Carolina. And I always say if anything to end with a borough, it's a small town. So very small town. Almost everybody know everybody. My parents almost taught everybody in the community. So,
right.
So it's just
you couldn't do nothing in the hometown.
Really
you did anything, Justin.
I'll never forget. We had a substitute teacher named Miss Tucker. The whole class would just be acting belligerent, just wilding out. I would say, "Hey," and she's like, "Singleton, you want me to write you up?" I'm like, "For what?"
Do you not? Two kids are fighting right now.
Right now.
one just stabbed the other. And you're talking about me saying, "Hey."
Straight up, like, shoot out of 3 up in this world.
Right.
Man, like,
how to hook it? I was like, I just said hello to you, Miss Tucker.
I'm just hitting the hard punch button, and I'm getting written up. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So yeah, everybody knew everybody, but group from Walter were born and raised and moved up here to Nashville back in 2007. Right when everything got bullcrap, like it was started getting bad.
Oh yeah.
As far as it was like the downturn in the economy, so I've been up here ever since, man, and seen the changes in Nashville, and even the beer scene seen the changes and everything else. So
the changes
back
are
then, I
wild.
remember seeing like maybe 2 or 3 headliners. That's when Blackstone was actually on
West End.
Yeah, West End.
Yeah, it was Blackstone, and they're right next to America.
Yeah. And Yazoo was right down the road too. Right?
Yep.
A little bit closer.
Jackalope was on that same road, Cat Corner.
So it was just like 2 or 3. I wasn't big into beer then, but like those were the 3 that you saw, especially Yazoo.
Yeah, and they talked about all the time. You didn't. Yeah, you really didn't.
You saw Yazoo everywhere and everything else, but that's what you really saw in the community.
There's not many breweries here that are older than like 6 years, other than literally those 3. Think about it. Like New Heights is not that new.
No,
Black Abbey isn't super new.
You are correct.
Isn't super old.
Yeah.
And so it's just like those 3 are 7 years plus. Jackalope is 10 years.
Yeah, Jackalope been for a little minute, but
Yazoo I think is like a year or 2 older than them.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're like close in age, but I think Yazoo was like a year or so before them. But like that's like super cool. And then how'd you get into like craft beer? When you first moved there, you only knew about those 3. And you're like, now we sitting here at Beer Iris judging beer to the hops almost, to the water. Like, what water y'all use? Is this Harpic or Cumberland?
So man, it's funny. And he's gonna say that. I'm pretty sure when he listens to this, he's gonna say I'm telling the story all wrong. But it is what it is. So my guy Brian Youngsma, he's co-owner of a Mill Spec Brewing. Whenever they open up.
Coming soon.
That's all we can say.
We got you. Got you, Youngsma. We're here for you.
Yeah, we're here for you. So it was like my last day at work. Well, let me go back. I remember we did fantasy football draft, and I was trying to fit in. I was like, I like IPA. Because they were talking about craft beer. Like, I like IPA. That's the only craft beer I ever had at the time.
You gotta say something. I won't be lying.
My last day at work at Pearl, he was like, hey, let's go. I always say it was Black Abbey, but he's gonna say somewhere else. But that was like I said, Blackstone. We went to a brewery. We were craft, so we went out there and like we were talking about. We had a couple beers or whatever.
Right.
And then one day whenever he invited to his house, we started brewing. And ever since then, it's just been a takeoff. So like me and him always been. He put me on.
There you go.
And I think he unintentionally taught me how to brew, so I can be like this little brew helper at the house.
He just sets you up.
Oh yeah, it was all cool. Cause I enjoyed it. It was fun, man. And I think with the craft beer, it's just and I love creating, especially when it comes to food, and stuff like that. So it's just like it's an opportunity to create something different at any time, because there's 50 million styles out there. I feel like, and then like you can make your own thing, you can make it your own. So I think that's why I enjoy, craft beers. Not only just creating it, but just like enjoying the taste. Like you can go have a stout at Beer N Iris, and have one here
or a double IPA,
and you can go 3 counties over and be the same exact style, but something different.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
They're doing this hop, or they added this, or added like a fruit or something into it.
And pour the water at a different temperature, like things of that nature, different mash time, all that stuff makes a difference.
Right.
It's just like, okay, that's what I enjoy the most. It's like you're going to get something different no matter wherever you go. So. And it's fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
Craft beer is fun.
Craft beer is.
You
have the best conversation.
It's not fun, but other than that, like craft beer is just a beautiful thing.
You have some of your best conversations over a beer.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just something about a brewery. It just opens you up, and you talk about stuff you never knew you wanted to talk about until you're talking about it. You're like, oh, I didn't know I knew this much about race relations or politics. Yeah. But this IPA is telling me I know. I think I'm gonna run for president. Yeah.
About it, I
putting my name in the hat, baby.
It's always been like a community drink for me. I got beer at home. I don't drink by myself at home a whole lot, but I do feel like my mom always said, always have something at the house, and just in case somebody come over.
Right.
I'm always had beer inside the refrigerator or somewhere hidden. But I just feel like it's one of those beverages, like you say, you pull out, have conversations. whether they start off with the beer or we just seeing something on TV and start talking about it. Like, I've had times, almost like the same amount of time I was spending at the brewery, almost the same amount of time I spent at the record store. Like, you just go in there and don't know what to expect. You just need to go ahead and block some time off for the day.
It's like being a sneakerhead, but with beer. Like, somebody's releasing something like limited release. You're like, yo, I got to be there.
And I'm going to check it out.
Folks be there.
Now, I'm not like, be there at 4 o'clock in the morning like people go for J's, but I don't have a comma.
But like, there still be lines.
Oh, yeah.
Proxies coming in.
Here, when they used to have their festival, the annual festival here.
I think that was the 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah.
Anniversary. I missed it. I messed around and forgot about it.
I drove up here. There was people, and I parked like down the road down here. Line wrapped all the way down.
They were having bottle shares in the line.
Yeah.
Like while waiting for beer.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like you don't see that in food or beverage.
Yeah.
You don't see people waiting around the line for like barbecue.
No.
Like in that way. It was like, oh, we putting out this exclusive.
And don't mind it. I mean, we prepared, like, we know you're going somewhere, you prepare for a bottle. And I forgot to mention bottle share part when we were talking about how I got involved with it. But, I mean, it all connects together. It's just like when you get together, it's like growing up and trading basketball cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you come to school like, oh, man, I got this new Jordan, or I got this new Allen Iverson or whatever. I'm going to show it off or whatever.
Yep.
And I may trade it if the price is right. You know, the trade is right. And the same thing is like with beer. It's just like whenever you come to bottle share, everybody's gonna bring like one of their top 2 or 3 best. Like, okay, you got a 6-pack.
Yeah, because you don't want to be shamed in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be like, oh, you brought Bud Light. Ugh.
Get that out of here.
Go on out here.
It's funny because I've had people hit me up that's like, Justin, so what type of beer do I bring? I'm like, bring anything, but just don't bring, no Natty Lights or.
Right. I tell people, I'm like, yo,
if Natty Light Pink Lemonade is pretty good.
It's solid, yeah. I had it. I broke down and had it. I had it. It was good.
But don't come up here no Bud Light or Busch Light or anything like that. Just
or talk to me. We will go to craft brew together. We'll go to a brewery together, and I'll point out like, bring that.
I don't know. I'm not gonna do all that. But because what I like people to do is kind of figure out on their own. Like, have those conversations with the beer tender that's at craft brew or something like that. Say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, or I don't know what to bring. Like, so, so it'll start pique that interest. Like, okay, so this is what you're saying about this beer. Let me, dabble in something else real quick. Like, you just never know.
So okay,
it's an opportunity to kind of. And you start to find out what you like, because somebody said, like, you can go to a beer tent, it's like, hey, well, I like, a light beer with a light slow flow and crisp to it.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is what we recommend.
Yep.
And you might have gone to that store like 2 weeks ago and seen that can there, and you never would have picked it up a day in your life. But when somebody recommended, like, oh, because that's what I'm getting? Because, these cans are beautiful.
Yeah. you can get tricked by a can art.
You can get tricked by a can in a heartbeat. And that with my rookie stage, that would be the first thing I look for. Like, okay, the can art.
Sometimes I get got by it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's just badass can art. I gotta get it for the can art. If it's bad beer, I just want the can art.
Yeah.
I'll make some sort of decoration with the can. I'm like, I just needed that. I was like, that's Dragonfly Jones on the can.
I mean,
I gotta have that.
Yeah. Like, something like that, yeah. But then also, I think once you start to get more experience and start getting more influence with the culture, you can start homebrewing yourself. You start to say, okay, so what's hops in here? Okay, so you see some hops, like, okay, that's a nice little combo. Like, I hadn't combo before. Or like, well, dang, I've never seen this hop before. Let me look it up real quick before I purchase it. I've seen some hops come out within the past year, so okay, I've never seen that before.
Right, me too.
So I'm like, I'm
Cashmere hops was like new to me. And I fell in love with that.
Even with some of the stuff that Nathan will do at Heart of House, they'll have some hops that, like Coach says, they get theirs with local farms, source farmers and stuff like that. Okay, well, let me read up on it real quick. Like,
so it tastes like the state, almost. Yeah. Like it's like a stately feel.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to think about, but like,
yeah,
it makes me feel good. I was like, man, I'm drinking like a Tennessee beer.
Yeah.
Like, this is from Tennessee.
Yeah.
They might have some from like Kentucky, but like, like that state line is so blurred. It's like
crossing the heartbeat. Heck, I stay about 40 minutes away from the Kentucky borderline. Well, I live in town, so it's like right there. But all that to say, like, where the bottle share is an opportunity to discover new things, especially our events that are free, because
right.
And you get to try it for like a beer that you never would have seen before. or you're interested in trying, but it's like, I have no idea. Somebody probably bring it out. They're like, okay, so I'm in discovery mode. So like, and that's a beautiful thing. Like, I love trying new things, and I want people to try new things as well. So that was kind of like the whole thing of like making the bottle share for those who love it, those who might be interested, and those who don't. Because I mean, a lot of our bottle shares that we've had brewers come out there.
Yeah.
Even not on the days that they would be the special guests. I'm like, okay, I got to get back out here.
Right.
See what's happening.
They come back. Yeah.
They come back. Several people come back several times. Like they're like, man, I hate to come make the last one, but come back to this one because I got to try. Or I want to test out my beers that I've had before.
Exactly.
Nate brought some stuff out. He brought some secret stuff out. I'm like, okay.
Like, we're not releasing this for a long time, but I got it.
I got it. I want to see what people say.
And he's just an animal for fucking with good old Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation, which I'm excited for. But I was like,
yeah. I haven't gone back since they said they changed it up again.
Really?
Yeah. Tim Mitchell said he was like, yeah, they changed it up a little bit, but he was like, it's even better. So I'm like, all right, let me go back and check it. I might stop by today. Who knows? But we'll see.
Wherever wind blows you.
Yeah.
Wherever Rocco, the pup, allows you to go.
Yeah. He don't care. He go anywhere. He's like,
I'm out. So I'm free, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, bottle shares are beautiful things, man.
I love it.
And another I appreciate about it because one of the guys that came there, he was like, hey, do I have to pay or do I have to, drink specific beers? I'm like, no, we had a record store.
Right, we had a record store and it's like several tables full of beer.
Yeah.
Whatever sounds good.
Yeah, the last one was the first time I didn't have to take any beer home. I told everybody, just start taking stuff. So some people want about 4 or 5 cans, but I'm usually taking more than I've ever brought.
So you're ready for all of the bottle shares. You can host your own bottle share and you bring everything, people just come.
It's a lot of times I brought beers from the previous bottle share.
Right.
Yeah, so
I was like, didn't I see this?
Yeah, you did.
A couple months ago.
It was out there, man. So yeah, man, I love it, man. I'm looking forward to the next season 2 when it drops.
Oh yeah, man. Like I'm ready, huh?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? It was like off camera. We'll talk more about trying to make it into more of a festival style because the last bottle share, I was like, I see the full potential of this on a larger scale. That was just like a little sample. Just got to make sure it works. Just a little trial run.
It's like, like a TV show. You're going to have that pilot season. See how it works out.
That was the pilot episode right there. It was like, I had so much fun at that one.
Oh, yeah.
Vendors, DJ, breweries coming in, hanging out, and things like that. And it's like,
combination.
Right. It's the only combination, really. And I want to kind of like talk about that a little bit more, just like having like brewery representatives coming back just to come hang out.
Yeah.
And how they can use that in using like genuine care.
Yeah.
And building that diversity. Like how does Brew N Circles kind of fit into that gap? Like, because there is a major gap in craft beer when it comes to black people and them consuming, buying craft beer. We're only like 1% of craft beer drinkers, but it's like,
and even I saw that stat.
It's somewhere in there,
And even then they were just talking about like the percentage of, and I think it's like same percent, 1% for
brewery owners. Yeah.
So it was just, I think that's the stat that I saw. So dang, black beer owners and drinkers, that's crazy.
It's super low. It's way too low.
Anything like 1%, like that's like nothing compared to like you think about how many breweries out there. You probably
right. And beer was in Africa in the BC era. But now it's like people don't know that. Like I tell people, they're like, "Word?" I'm like,
"Yeah." Beer was the cleanest thing to drink back in the day.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, ale.
You knew what it was.
Yeah, you knew what it was. Like, that was the cleanest thing to drink because even like to this day, like when you make, I'm gonna get back to your question in a little bit, but like making beer is like you take so much to clean and sanitize, and I don't want to make skunky beer or like kill anybody with it, so I just like make sure I'm super clean.
Or give people, people stomach aches now.
Man, Star Stay and make money off of me because I swear I make sure everything clean or not. But to your question, the thing is that just really coming out and just being part of the atmosphere. Look, I mean, this past year I've had a lot of breweries who were like either, up and coming, or they're about to build their breweries, or they're just waiting on that. So I mean, the only major one I had who really had a brick and mortar even then with Harding House.
Right.
So everybody was like, had common law. They're getting up and ready to ramp up their stuff and whatnot. They've been fighting for space, even in Columbia and the area they're at down there.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was at they were at the festival.
Yeah.
I was talking amongst festival goers.
Yeah.
That was like the issue. I think they got a space where they can sell, but they can't pour. So, it's some wild I think that's just more of like the state thing
we got a lot
being
of
difficult.
State laws in Tennessee, so we that one brewery that's down there and
isn't it a bad idea?
No, it's close to Pulaski or whatnot, and there's so many feet away from in front of a school and a church, and they were just like, well, no, we don't. They're so many feet away from the church, so they didn't want them to open up the brewery then. And it's some old crazy law.
But y'all have wine and. Okay. Well, that's a whole that's a whole nother episode for another day.
Yeah, but all I have to say is that I've always had up and coming, and they've always wanted a place to really kind of promote their beer and whatnot, and that's always been fun. Cause I've always been a small town guy. I'm like, stuff for the little guy. And
my mom's from a small town, so she reps it with all her might. Yeah, like I'm from here. This it's as big as this table.
Yeah,
and blah blah blah. So I always respect small towns because they just got some magic to them. It's just like.
And I just wanted them to have an opportunity. Like, okay, I know you knew or whatever, so let's go ahead and give you an opportunity. And everybody, I've never had anybody to say no. It's just more than had some schedule conflicts, but everybody's looking forward to the opportunity to get their beer out there. And as far as us as the drinkers and diverse, I try to make sure that even within our black communities in Nashville, still promoting, try to get people to come out there. They may not always be hip to the scene, but the thing is that until they try it or get somebody, it's just like a gateway. Like if it was for young smart, there would be certain beers I'll never have known to try and whatnot, especially stouts and stuff like that, because when we have our big major brands and our uncles and our aunts drink the Michelob Ultras and certain things.
Heineken, and Blue Moons,
Blue Moon, and what's my other Heine, Blue Moon, and Guinness.
Yeah.
So that's what they envision as particular as beer. And I'm like, nah, there's much more out there. And I've had people, when it comes to the bottle shade, put them on like, oh, well, this is
fire. Okay.
And
it's a beer for everybody. That's my mantra in beer.
Oh, yeah, it's a beer for everybody. And every
you hear the Bearded Brother. One thing you learn about me as the Bearded Brother is a beer for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You just haven't found it yet. That's all it is.
I put somebody on a shandy, and they was like, yo, I had no idea this is what I like. A light beer with some flavor. And I'm like, yes, and it's not a Bud Light. So,
Right.
So you have those light beers and flavor. So, the key is to make sure to, still push, hey, just come try it. Just come check it out and see what it's about.
Just open your mind 5%, that's all.
And I guarantee you, if you come to the bottle share, we had some guys that came up, they was walking through the neighborhood, and they heard music, and they was just like, what's going on here? And they started like, well, dang, I like beer too. Or they were kind of interested, and they started saying, well, dang, I didn't even know this exists. This type of beer exists, or even this event. So it's just like, if we can get you in, more likely you'll talk to somebody like you who just like, yo, you start sharing your passion. Oh, they're like, he's hyping it up, ain't it? But then when they try, oh, dang, okay, he's real. Stuff, it does exist.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it all. But, it's just getting them past that door. Get them in there.
You just got to get the foot in the door.
Yeah. And
even the shoelace. If you can get the shoelace through the door, that's success. And that's the beauty of, craft beer. It's we don't care if you don't like beer, but we want you to come out with respect. You're like, yo, I didn't like anything, but I can see why people enjoy it. There's more to this than what we thought, and I think it's a more complex, a better pairing beverage than liquor or wine, because
it's a little more inexpensive at times than liquor and wine.
Exactly.
You $40 bottle, you stuck with it if you don't like it,
Right. I was like, well, at least with the beer, if you know enough people that drink beer, you can go to a bottle share. You're like, man, I ain't like this beer. I'm just gonna drop it at a bottle share. Somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah.
It's like you might like the stout you're drinking now, but I do.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I got cans of it. Let me just.
Somebody's gonna give it. Somebody's gonna want it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, so.
It's just really pushing somebody in that, give people around you like, so with Shawnee and everything, just hey, okay, well, let me try it out. Because they're a little more. They understand what's happening here for the flavor thing. So, and I wish I would take the breweries who've been present, because They didn't have. They all made beers. It was okay. this is where I can put somebody who might not have ever had beer before,
right? And
it's something good and solid. Like, you know, I still left in big trouble for. They were like, oh man, we overcard this beer. And I'm like, dude, this is a great beer that they brought out there and whatnot. So I feel like they get the sense of what a bottle share is supposed to be like,
right?
And they cater to it. So that's always been kind of helpful.
And people are listening. I've always noticed about the brewers that come through, they listen.
Yeah.
And like hear what we have to say and see us on that. And I think that's like really important when it comes to like making black people feel comfortable.
Oh yeah.
In craft beer. I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like, oh, it's white people stuff. Like I don't want to do that. Like, oh, that's white people shit. I was like, no, like,
just try it.
Negroes can be a part of it too.
Yeah.
And enjoy it, and then like be able to have those conversations with a representative of the brewery, whether it's the owner or the head brewer or tap room manager and things like that. And so it's just,
and then we'll talk you into it. Like, you can, I remember even starting from my beer journey, just like, you know, I remember like going to Johnson City Brewing Company up there in Johnson City, East Tennessee, and just walking in. And, you know, there's not a whole lot of us up in that northeast, East Tennessee altogether, but even the northeast area. And like walking in, just like, you know, having the beer tender or, you know, somebody was working in the back just come in and speak to me or whatnot.
Right.
Or having a regular customer that who's like, I mean, literally like a regular, like, he's like, you know,
he was there a couple of hours before. He had to go home and run some errands, but came back.
He bought me a flight. He's like, you ever been here before? I was like, nah. He's like, hey man, and I bought him a beer. Of course, he was with a beer too, or whatever. But you know, it just feel like, okay, well, dang, you know, clearly. I know, it's just like when you get in there, you know, we all have our different experiences, you know, some are good, we have some bad stuff.
That's why actually my next question was like kind of what you look for when you walk into a brewery when it comes to like, I feel comfortable here. And enjoy, like, what are aspects you look for and you know you're going to be there? Like, other signs on the wall, personality of the workers, like, what do you go, like, when you walk into, we're at Beer Dyers today, so you walk into Beer Dyers, you feel comfortable, but what makes you feel comfortable?
I think the most important thing, especially for me, been drinking beer for a couple of years now, is like, I see the thing I don't like. And that is, because there's a lot of things I do look for and like, but the most important thing that kind of turned me away is you talk to me as if I don't know what beer is, you know?
Talk to me like I'm dumb or I'm a child.
Yeah, and I had that experience before. I think that's probably one of the only bad experiences I've had in my beer journey so far, is like talking to me as if I don't know what the beer is.
Right.
Like I remember one place, I forgot the name, I'm probably glad I did forget. You know, I was just like, hey, so you can tell me about, it was in South Carolina, so yeah. I know exactly who it is now, but I'm not going to mention it. But
right, I was going to say, that's on you. If you want to be messy, you go ahead and be messy.
Just know I was in my Columbia, South Carolina tour when I was coming from home.
Okay.
And so I was like, hey, so what's it? Oh, it's a stout, clearly, because it says such stout up there. And I'm just like, okay. And so,
what's in it?
Yeah, like, could you tell me more about it? Like, what's the body? Like, you know,
what's the grain profile?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, the stuff is important to me, so I can have an idea of what it's supposed to taste like, because that's important to me. And so just having, like, talking to me as if I don't know what beer is. I mean, it's obvious I have a beard, so of course everybody who has a beard knows good about beer. If you walk up in the brewery, that's all.
Right.
And that's how I judge brew. That's one thing I do look for, is if the brewer, do they have a beard? Is their beer long enough?
Right. No, that's real. Like, so, I'm on the same boat as well as, like, you don't have to be like super weird and be like, what do you need? And like every 2 seconds, but like if you're giving this effort to these group of white beer drinkers, like you don't have to give the same effort. And if I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. But like, let me see you trying to make an effort, just trying to be there. Don't be like drive with me and then you be your best self with the group down the bar. That's like kind of like what I look. One of the major things I look for. One of the things I do like is just like music. But before we continue, I ran out of my escape artist, so I want to get into part 2 with a full glass. Yeah. So, but like we were just like talk about the brew with Brew N Circles. Yeah. Now we're going to the circle side and just talking about how you came with the idea of pairing beer with like a vinyl.
Okay.
Is that just this sounds right, so I'm put it with a fest beer. Or this sounds like I would drink a stout with this. Like, how do you pick out? You're like, okay, they have this set of baseline, and it's heavy. What's a heavy beer? Stout. Or it's just light, easy. I need a Pilsner with it. It's like, what's your thought process of coming up with your pairings of your vinyls to beer?
Gotcha. Make it happen. Are we on live right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I thought you were cracking me up. My bad. So yeah, with the Circles, I'll tell you, Brew N Circles is my pandemic baby, and I was just like, what are two things I love? And I love beer, and I love records. And records come in the form of a circle, you know.
Right.
We kind of went to brewing vinyls. Like BNC is pretty dope. So what ended up happening, man? Like I always kind of have music always going on in my head, or I always say I have music. What's the word I'm looking for? Tourette's. I have music Tourette's. Cause like me and my sister will talk, and we'll say a line or something like that, and then break out to a song or something like that. Cause we always keep stuff going on. So with me, it was just like, okay, when I get a beer, I'm like, okay, what style is it? What is it? I look at the can, look at the art, I look at something, and it automatically like triggers something about, okay, well, the record that I have, or like what does the cover look like? Or, if I was sitting out just drinking on a nice day, like what song would I like to hear to go with it? Or like what's in the song that kind of matches with it? And the music kind of works out. So, I had a playlist, and the playlist is usually all over the place, with a lot of funk, jazz, R&B, soul, disco, and stuff like that. And it just goes well. Just like I always find something, whether it's a song, something I can see myself just listening to and drinking at the same time. The way that the cover looks. Like I got one picture, I got a picture of a Chico Hamilton album cover. He's sweating like hell, and he's like looking down, but I got the picture of the beer like right there in front of him. It's like he's looking down at the beer, like, oh my gosh, it's tasty looking beer. So
that's marketing.
So I put kind of everything together and just go with it. I like beer from everywhere, so I try to make sure I do put some Nashville beers in every now and then. But it's just like whatever I have and what sets it off in this moment. Like, what, that would go well with it, and just go with it from there. It's just like that. The force on the inside of me, it's just like
this is perfect. I need to put Funkadelics on with this fantastic voice.
Like the one that you had, had that on Funkadelic, that Parliament Chocolate City album. I paired it with a good stout, I think. And he's like,
it's a fantastic voice. I listened to the song and it was like, oh, I almost can't drink that song without that. Some version of that song playing in the background somewhere, whether it's in my head, I whistle it, I do the beat on the couch, on my dog. He don't like that, but I enjoy it. Mr. Bojangles, shout out, man. But I feel like that's some sort of like experiment we need to try. I was like, how does music affect beer? Like your beer once, you'd be like, man, it'd be great to have an IPA, but now you hear Biggie, I'm like, you know what? I might want a stout now because he hitting me with the heavy bars. I need to match my beer to the heavy bars. I don't want to let Biggie know I ain't no chump out here. So I was like, I'm gonna get the 10% stout because he's talking 10% ABV bars right now. I need to match the energy.
Conversation, everything goes well together. Like, I feel like when you got a good playlist roll, you got a couple beers, like it's not gonna rush or anything like that. You're not gonna rush the process. Just like beer making, everything will take your time and go with the day. And I always like beer, like just community drink. It's something about that vibe,
Yeah.
And it's just
like we sitting here,
this is the ghetto boys right now.
Yeah.
My mind playing tricks on me. So it's just like, why not have a cool, like just hearing that beat, it's like, okay, what, let me just go to, you can drink a pills with this, what I'm saying?
I was like, somebody need to turn on the grill or something. Like,
so
put a pool on, put my swim trunks on, something.
Just chill out, man. Have a little Coke juice in your hand or whatever. So it just goes well together, man. I can't think of a better combination.
Right. And then just kind of bring back to like the diversity thing. How can like music help that? Like you walk into a brewery, you hear Beach Boys.
You'd be surprised at how much people can connect to music. Or even if they can't connect, like from a personal standpoint, it's still a gateway to a relationship or not, because clearly if you like, there's a reason why you like the Ghetto Boys song.
We got beef, y'all. We got beef.
Dog beef. I think the
Turf war.
I think the little one might have taken him.
Right.
He had a little bite on him.
It's like, this is my corner.
I did it first. Rocco's here first, but I got him put up, so he on the block. But that's the thing about it, man.
But Rocco's an OG, so he's like, I don't need to be running the streets like that. Minions, go.
You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like it's a gateway to a relationship because you can kind of connect. And later on, you may find out, you may not have that strong of a connection, but at least it'll strike up a conversation because there's something that connects there. Like, okay, you like Jay-Z, I like Jay-Z. There's something about it that makes us realize
it's
that,
a conversation that can be had.
It's a great artist, Well, you may say you don't like Jay-Z, you listen to Jay-Z, so I'm like, okay, why is that? It strikes a conversation, like, especially top 5. Like, no matter where you go, top 5 conversation can pop up real quick, like a heartbeat. And that's when you create a conversation. And why not have a beer with that? Because you become more of a philosopher when you drink more beer.
You really do.
Science is proving that.
You become smarter. From Cheers, they proved that on Cheers. It was like, you have your Buffalo, all the weakest ones get picked off by the lions and everything, so the pack becomes stronger.
Yeah.
Same thing with brain cells. That's why you feel smarter after a few beers. It's like beer kills off the weak brain cells.
Yeah.
All your strong ones are going, flaring. That's why you feel like you're at the top of the world.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow you don't, but that's a whole different.
Dumb, and when they give you a recap, you're like, "Why did I say that?" But at that point in time, you feel smart.
Oh yeah, you run everything. You can solve all the world's problems like that.
Just like that. Oh man.
And so, but this festival is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's just like super interesting and kind of cool to talk about like beer and music because they kind of have the same like analytical. You watch everything. It's like this song "Ghetto Boys." You hear everything about the production. You hear the lyrics. You hear the delivery of the artist and things like that. You can kind of compare it to like beer, like the grain profile is like the production. Then the adjuncts are the lyrics and all that stuff. So it's just like it's super cool to like be able to connect that. And I think like you doing Brew N Circles, I don't want to give you flowers now before it's too late. And things like that. So
even to add to your analogy with this is like you got one song, which is one style of beer. You got 3 different stories. So what you have is like somebody just changed the grain bill real quick. Like nobody's really telling the same story in the song.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's the same thing as like you can have a stout, but like they add raspberries. You added more chocolate. They added coffee and raspberries. It's like.
And it all leads to the same thing, like my mom playing tricks on me. Like they all go back to that one style.
Beer's playing tricks on me, baby.
That's it, man. It can play tricks on you. Yeah.
It really can. You're like, oh, is there actual grapefruit? Nope. It's just a hop that is grapefruit forward. Now you taste grapefruit. It's like, oh, is chocolate in here? Nope, that's just the malt. Yeah. Like it's not actual. It can make you taste different ingredients or different adjuncts you think are there, but it's like no.
It's just not there. So you're right, man. But this is the beauty of it all. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be, as long as it's around me, I'm definitely gonna try and drink it and whatnot. Craft beer is a beautiful thing. It can create many great moments together. Some you may remember, some you may not.
And that's when you need your camera.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But I do think that I do wish that once we get more involved with the community, and like I said, we don't have to have that gateway. We'll start to realize how good it is. I love the song. This is a song with Nas and
Have you heard his new album, King Disease?
Yeah, King Disease. I love the first one. I just like Nas, man. Easily top 5.
Right. Everybody was talking about Drake and Kanye's Donda. I was like, so y'all just gonna ignore? Now he's got the best rap album so far.
Yeah.
By far.
He does. He has one of the best. And the crazy part, like with the whole the ability to stream music nowadays, like albums come out quicker more than they ever had before. Like, you know, you can remember at one point in time, you might have like, you know, 5 critically acclaimed albums that year that you're just waiting on. And now it's like everybody could just drop in a heartbeat. So you kind of forget, like, I remember last year, albums came out with the, you know, the first quarter, and I thought that came out the previous year. This albums come out with the first part of 2021. I thought probably came out last year.
But because they put 2 or 3 more albums out
in a heartbeat.
Right.
And I like it, but then I kind of forget, like, dang, that's what I'm supposed to be listening to.
Right. You're supposed to listen to this at least a year, and then you don't hear a single off on the radio until like 8 months later. Yeah. Like, and then that's why I appreciate Kendrick Lamar. Like, he's still very relevant, but he hasn't put out an album in 5 years.
And the one he's gonna put out is gonna be his last one with TDE.
Yeah. So it's just
what's
like
next?
right. And so it's like, I think there's still like a space where people can kind of come out with their albums, like used to him maybe like once every year, 2 years or something like that, and still be relevant. Like Kendrick Lamar does that. Like he'll drop like To Pimp a Butterfly and Damn. It was like a 2-year gap or something like that, and people came running. But also you have the lane for the people that will put out an album like Problematic as the Baby puts out an album every 15 minutes, or Lil B the bass guy, like whether you like him or not, he has an album out almost every month for the past like 10 years.
You forgot the prime one, Currency. Currency got about 45 albums within a 2-year span. Like every time I turn around, Currency got a new project out.
Gucci Mane's like right up there. Like he'll drop like 3 albums like back to back.
But even that, like, he was more like almost like a mixtape king. So, like, if you think about it, Gucci Mane catalog, as far as like actual albums, is not as many. But Joker got like 45,000 mixtapes, and he's on everything. So
he just on like the most random songs. You'll listen to like a Taylor Swift, but like Gucci Mane has like a little 8-bar on there. I'm like,
you know, it was actually funny. Like you start to find, like, because I don't listen to a lot of pop music, but a lot of the people will go over there in a heartbeat. Like I remember listening to a one song, and Amigos just popped up out of nowhere. It was a pop song. Like maybe I was in the mall or something like that, and I was like,
that's where the money's at musically. So Waka Flocka was talking about, he's like, the money is nuts over in pop. He's like, that's why I'm pretty much over there like exclusively. Like I did my rap stuff. He's like, you got Hard in the Paint from me. You got your crunk music from me. That's gonna be classics. Now I'm going over here with the super poppy like snap beats and
being already for like 45 years.
Make $1 million for a 2-bar song. Like I did the chorus. They took my ad-libs and made a chorus, but I'm getting money off that forever. Like it's gonna be in movies, it's gonna be in commercials, it's gonna be in TV shows. People are gonna listen to it, and I just said bow 30 times in the song, but that funds my kid's life for the rest of his life. Like that's just crazy to me.
And I'm not mad at him.
No, me neither. I would have done the same thing. I was like, I'll make my hardcore rap. 2 or 3 albums. Let me jump over here with David Guetta real quick.
Still slightly hot.
Skrillex, what you doing? You need my sound over there? Cool. All right.
You can get a pop song like
Bass Nectar, what's going on?
I was just talking about this last night. You know, Return of the Mac will forever be ingrained in pop history.
Yeah.
Forever. It got over to that side of the world, and it just, I mean, I heard a remix of it the other night. It came out like maybe like a year or so ago. I'm like, dang, this man's still getting money. I think he's in jail. I'm going to get being deported or something like that. Something happened over there. So just like, that's why he never really blew up after that song, because he got in trouble.
Damn.
So I got to go back and remember what it was. But yeah, he never really made it.
I got to look that up.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a reason why he never went beyond that song.
He needs to make a Return to Mac Part 2 once he's out of legal trouble.
I guarantee you the world will catch on fire. Return to the Mac Part 2? Like,
he was like, but he actually really returns and he's like not in legal trouble anymore?
Dude, even if he did, it doesn't matter.
That's marketing. That's perfect marketing.
It doesn't matter where he is. If you drop the Return of the Mac 2.
And all you gotta do is put a new artist on there for a remix, and that's Return of the Mac Part 2.
Can you imagine hearing Migos on the ad-libs on Return of the Mac? Offset. Woo, 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 back.
Boom, boom.
Like,
Quavo, Takeoff, Offset. We'll throw Cardi on there, just because she's married to Offset. She's kind of married into the Migos.
Dude, that song.
Or throw like a Meg Thee Stallion verse on there.
We can bust off of that song if you had the Migos on it.
Oh yeah. Or like Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah. Oh. They can go on tour just that one single.
Right. They just do that one song and leave. Like people would be like, I'm happy about it.
And do like a house mix or a dub mix, and they'll be like,
and then leave. Like just 3 songs. People be like, I'm really fine with this.
I'm good.
Like I didn't know I needed it until y'all did it.
I'm telling you, Mark, wherever you are, come on, whatever, turn back.
We got you. We're here for you. All right. Hopefully this podcast brings you back once you get your life together. Yeah. So, but I do have a few fun questions for you before we wrap up. So, in terms of music, name a music video you wish you could have been in. Either could have been in or directed.
Oh man, so many good ones out there. I would probably.
And it's not directed at any genre either. Like if you want to go like a Paul Abdul, you can, all the way to the hardest Gucci Mane.
I would have loved to do a Michael Jackson video in the late 80s, early 90s. Because at that point in time, he had everybody on this song. I mean, you think about the song Nigerian Girl that he had.
Yep.
And he wasn't in the video. Like, he was directing the video or whatever, but like, everybody was asking where...
Are You Rock My World? Yeah, it's like, it tells a story.
Nigerian Girl. Whatever song Girl is, whatever African woman's song name is, but everybody was in there. Paula Abdul, Irvin Johnson, just anybody in that video. It's just like, I bet that was just a good time.
That sounds like a blast.
It just sounds like a good time.
That sounds fun.
Like put me in a Michael Jackson video in a heartbeat. I think that would have been the best.
Yeah, everyone tells a story that has like a whole script and everything. Like even You Rock My World with Chris Tucker. Like I was like, I would love to have been in there.
I bet those were just moments that you can never ever like turn down and give away. Like,
oh no, I would have been in a Missy Elliott video.
Missy Elliott would definitely be.
Because you don't know what she's gonna have you do.
You don't know.
Like,
you be in a plastic trash bag suit for
right.
Or
you're like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, we're sending you out to Jupiter.
Yeah.
What do you mean sending me out to
Jupiter? Like disclosure.
Like Jupiter, like some random town, and the actual planet. Like you'll be recording about 3 weeks. We'll get some footage. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And then come back. It's like. It's the greatest video ever. Yeah. Or a Busta Rhymes video. Like, put your hands where my eyes can see.
Him and Missy were just fun videos.
Yeah, I just want to see, like, the thought process. Like, just, how did you know to do this?
Yeah.
Like, why did you, like, put your hands where my eyes can see?
Yeah.
How do you know to do that in, like, some sort of, like, ancient time, Egyptian time, kind of African? Like, what made you be like, okay, I'm playing a song. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? No, I'm gonna do like a West Africa, like a voodoo type style video. Makes sense. Or like you said, like the puffy trash bag, like I Can't Stand the Rain. What makes you think of a puffy trash bag with I Can't Stand the Rain? Beep beep. Who got the keys to the G?
But think about like you don't even question that. Like whatever happens, just do it.
Yeah, like
and it's iconic. Iconic.
Yes. Or the little white girl, Missy Elliott had like.
You knew she was Cuban.
Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
Like she was never really everybody. I thought she was white, but no, she's actually
Cuban. My bad. Sorry, Cuban girl Allison. Out here just busting moves out here.
Killing with Missy was on the award show. She brought her out a couple years ago. Still killing it.
Still doing her thing, like as if she never left.
Whatever she said,
Which is just put down, flip it, and reverse it backwards, which is another like a whole nother podcast episode.
Yeah.
I'm about a year old now when I found out that was actually what she said backwards. I was like,
she had a competition on like 106 Apart like back in the day. I remember never forget it when they were just like, can you decipher what she's saying? And I don't know if anybody ever won it, but it was
like everybody like found out last year, like 2019, 2020, everybody found out then. Like no one knew.
Yeah.
Like,
and I probably would have been in the Janet Jackson film just like to shoot my shot with her.
There you go.
Shoot my shot.
We'll take this as you're shooting your shot now.
Yeah.
Jenny, if you see this, for some odd reason you stumble across my podcast and you hear this.
I cook, clean, I do everything. Don't even worry about it.
Right. You do your thing. I got it. Name a song attached to like a great memory you have. Like you were hanging out with your mom at the pool or something. It was just a blast. But what song brings you back to like a good memory?
Like the first thing that came to my mind, just that quick, I was just thinking about "Summertime" by Will Smith, because I never forget when that video dropped. It came out at the end of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode, like, because it came on like late at night when we were growing up or whatever.
And
I just remember,
Yo.
I just remember like being at my cousin's house and just kicking it, because that's what we always used to do, like get together on the weekend, just stay and watch TV or whatnot. So just like it just brings like a childhood memory of like, man, this was a good time, like how being a kid is supposed to be, like no care in the world, just living it up and having good times with my cousins. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. It was like the first song and video I can just think of. It was just like automatically bringing back a good memory, off top.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man. Ooh. I don't even know for me. That's a good question. I had one and then just like it's just so many like different songs.
Well, even like this song came out because this came out as a snippet at the end of an award show, and this everybody just lost it. Like, what the heck was that? And this might have been one of the. No, was this Kanye West joint? Oh, it might have been another one, had a little kitty voice in the background. I can't think of the name of it, but it was just like, yo, this is dope.
This is fire.
like Jay-Z, because I remember like one of my cousins, or my other cousins, had to travel down. We used to get our little tapes or whatever, because you knew he always had the new CDs.
Had the stuff, yeah.
So we'd just go in there and just be recording mixtapes for the summer or whatever, just going to his house. So like, stuff like that just reminds like my childhood. Just like think about like, man, like life was a whole lot more easier and connect to it. Just being a kid.
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know, man. Like, probably Bow Wow. No, Craig David, because that's the first album I ever bought. He had I can't think of the song. If I hear it, I know it.
Fill Me In? Was that
that
was his hot song that came out.
Yeah, that was like my first album I ever wanted. I ever bought. No, it was Bombs Over Baghdad, because I wanted that album as a kid. But the parental advisory kept my parents from letting me buy it. I wanted the album. Yeah. And then Get Your Freak On by Missy Elliott. Those were the first two albums I actually wanted. Then I ended up with Craig David. I rocked with it. I loved it. But I was like, if my parents were just a little more vibey and cool, I would have got Missy Elliott's, I forget what the album is. It's blue, and it had this E circle. That one, and then...
that was a hot album.
Fire.
She had some heat on that.
Fire. That was a fire. I love that one. And then, was that Stankonia with Big Boy with his hands out? Yeah, Stankonia. Like, those are the two first albums I wanted. Yeah. But Parental Advisory didn't let me have it.
I think the first album.
So my dad was like, "That's Parental Advisory." No.
Yeah.
I got Craig David, which it was a fire album. His first album was fire. Like, judge me if you want to. Beer tasting family, like that's a good ass album.
I remember personally when Disaster Strikes by Busta Rhymes. I don't know how it came. I don't know if it was because the scenario I became a big Busta Rhymes fan. Probably so. But like Busta Rhymes is easily one of my favorite rappers of all time. Top 10, maybe not top 5, but top 10 definitely. But I remember buying that album. I was like, man, I really loved it. I was a big Busta Rhymes fan, so yeah.
Oh, I'm a huge Busta Rhymes. It was Put Your Hands on My Eyes. The video made me a fan of him.
Yeah.
Like, of course, the song. Yeah. That goes without saying. Yeah. Like, I feel like we don't have to have that conversation. But that video is like, oh, okay, like, this is what rap could be.
To America, so it was really dope. So.
Yeah, because that was like right off the heels of that movie, wasn't it? The first one?
No, Coming to America came out like late 80s. It was when like Eddie Murphy was in his prime, Yeah. He was the darkest Negro on the darkest screen.
Yeah, Delirious just came out.
Delirious was hilarious, funny stand up.
Oh, that's. I watched it today. I was like, ooh, you couldn't say that now.
No, there's a lot of stuff a lot of comedians got to say back in there you can't get away with now, But it was at the time a little hot.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, what's a problematic song when it comes on? You'll jig to it about 30 seconds longer than you should.
Oh man.
I kind of have a guess where you can go, but I'm gonna let you say it. Because I could be wrong.
A few of them. I can tell you problematic artists, definitely. And that's that man from Chicago. I ain't gonna mention his name. I don't know what your show get banned or like that. But it was just like, even like in the midst of all the stuff, he was like, dang, it's him though. Like, these songs are fire, but ooh, I can't get jiggy with it.
Because you said it was a choice.
But
you said it was a choice that killed me.
But for an artist a name I can announce on your show and not really blow up and get it banned, I would say even Tip Drill by
Really?
I mean, I remember my college days, you know, that song was just straight up bananas, and like you go back and listen to it, like, ooh, you know, I remember trying to stay for Watch Uncut and like,
I remember that's how I saw it.
That's not fly. That's definitely, you know, you can't get away with that now. And it was even crazy, like even so Bill Cosby had an album that he did with Quincy Jones.
Really?
That's pretty fly. You get a chance to check it out, but it's like, dang, it's Bill Cosby. I can't rock this as much. But yeah, it was just fly.
I ain't gonna tell nobody.
Yeah. So that was just one, just like, man, I just really can't get jiggy to it. I don't want to, but it's a smooth album though, you know? But you want to listen to Bill, you know?
Right.
Whether he tried to buy NBC or not, and everything came out. You know? But yeah.
That's like R. Kelly, remix to Ignition, Honey Fresh Out the Kitchen.
Kel's made some hits. But I can't separate the man from the music.
I mean, neither. That's why it hurts.
Yeah.
It's just like,
cause just like,
why you, like, he literally like made music for his freedom.
Dude.
Like, that's why he was able to get away with the shit he was able to get away with. If he put out garbage music, he would have been washed up, locked up years ago. But everybody's like, man.
He was R&B for a long period of time.
Step, side to side, round and round.
That whole album was played during my cousin's wedding reception years ago. Cause it just came out. It was like, that's perfect music. Enjoy yourself at it. And we was outside.
It is. It really is.
The man, he made his. Oh, and I got another artist. Bobby Womack. Like, I can't. I like.
Ooh.
What was wilding back in the day? Like,
he's off the chain.
If you ever get a chance to like either listen or read some of his biography stories and whatnot, you be like, yo, Bobby Mack was out here wild. Damn, that song, Woman's Gotta Have It. Like, that's the perfect song that I feel like every man who's in a relationship, trying to pursue a relationship, or is in a marriage, needs to be reminded what a woman needs. He misses in that song. What is Bobby Womack? And he'll probably sing it to his best friend's wife, you know?
Right.
Because that's literally who he took. So it's just like, dang. Yeah.
Or even just someone newer, like The Baby. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't really too much of a Baby fan. He was on everything. I mean,
he was on everything.
Fan of him. But you know,
his first album, that Kirk album, Incredible album, was like, bro, like, you can't just say stuff about AIDS, gay people, and sucking dick in a festival parking lot, which is always specific, but that's a whole other conversation. I was like, you can't say that and think like that shit's okay.
You
have
to notice, like, even if I'm under the influence, I still know things not to say, but not to do. But
like, you just wanted to say it, now you have something to blame it on if you get in trouble for it.
And I don't care what I don't care if it's a 2-second clip and they misinterpret it, but the thing is, I feel like as a public figure, you have to be prepared to always explain what you mean and just realize, like, anything you take out of context, number one.
Right.
And number two, you need to be mindful of what you say at all times, because, like, I mean, there's certain things I may believe or think or like will like to question, but I'm not about to sit here and go on a rant and try to figure out what it is, because they can take a 2-second bar, 2-second bit, and just really turn it against you when you're really just trying to get a clear understanding about certain things.
His was like straight up, all him was like, bruh.
But even for those who don't, you know, it's just like they have. But my point is that the fact that you're saying that, oh, you didn't know, we're in an age where it's too much information to be shared.
That's accessible. That's really the difference. Like, it's accessible.
Like, I had no idea about this community, or I had no idea. And maybe because, like, and maybe I'm not in that tax bracket, so therefore, like, I'm more consciously aware. I'm a social worker. So, like, I really want to keep up with, like, what's happening in the community, like, how to approach people. Like, I have to know about anything I'm dealing with, you know?
Right.
So, like, I know what to say about, certain communities and any community, But if not, I need to go figure it out before I say anything.
Right.
But to say that you had no idea, I just like, it's too much information. And even then, like, you can hard to publicists if anything, say, hey, am I thinking right? This is right. Before you put statements out, anything like that. But at least you have so much opportunity, so many opportunities to gain knowledge.
Right.
It's not like when we were growing up, we only have Encyclopedia Britannica that only came out like once every 3 years. And then even then it was expensive, it was $150.
I was early part in that, but like it was super slow, so it's not like you just look up anything. 7 things in 30 minutes, like 7 things to like for 3 or 4 hours to like sift through and figure out.
There's too many opportunities for you to. So all I say is that they exist. I hate it, but the most important thing is like there's too much access to information to feel like you say, I don't know. And that's probably another conversation. I'll probably do it off topic or whatever, but it's just too much access to information you don't know.
All right, and then to wrap up the last question, name your favorite black sitcom theme music.
Oh man!
Oh, I just fucked you up.
Oh, you did. You really did. So like, man, that's just like all of them are classics.
They are. I mean, we'll preface is like, we aren't saying they're bad. Yeah. It's just my favorite.
Like, even the ones like you think about
not bad.
The 90s.
Favorite.
Like you had. Like when you said that first came out, like living single, like
we're living,
and then you had
single.
And that's a whole bop.
Yes, that's a hit.
Even though Martin,
today,
the only thing they said with the song was Martin. Like that's still like you get off of that. And then even like Bill Cosby, like his different seasons, like I just felt like you just waited for like him to have a new season. Like they had that one where they was dancing.
And that saxophone. You hear a saxophone, you almost immediately think of him.
So it's just like, man, if I had to pick one, I'd probably do just out of, because it was, I would go living single.
That's fair.
But then, like, if I had to pick an A and B, it's definitely, Will Smith, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Cause that's actually a whole song. Like,
it is a whole song. And then I just thought about this, a different world, like, I know
like
parents love me.
Yes, like the new, like the, I don't want to say newer, but like the later. Because I think they had
a different. After the second season one.
They had like 1 or 2 seasons where they had a different one.
The one Aretha was singing on there.
Yes, that one. that one.
And when Aretha was singing on that, so it's just like,
everybody would know that one.
Yeah. Dang, that was a good one. That was a good. Damn, that was a tough one.
Man, yeah. Man, I probably gotta go. It was on a white network, but Keenan and Kel with Coolio.
Oh yeah, that was a dope one.
That's a fucking bop to me.
You know what would be more challenging would have been a movie soundtrack, man, because I was watching In Too Deep on Netflix the other day, and I was just like, dang, like, it was hot for, like, soundtracks back in the 90s, man. Like,
they actually cared.
Just like doing blaxploitation movies. Like, you had blaxploitation movies that made more money than the movie actually did. Superfly, that was one of them.
Shaft, the original Shaft was like that.
Who's that man? Yeah, man, it was really difficult to have. During the age range, like to have like an all black, like the sitcom movie.
Yes.
They put like the music, they put effort into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Say what you want. I feel like this cartoon was black, but they didn't put him as black. Arthur on PBS.
Yeah.
That was he was black, and that was, I count that as a black show, and that's a black theme. I rock. Hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
That was Proud Parents.
Proud Family. Oh man,
Proud Family. I'm sorry, Proud Family. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I was just thinking about you said black cartoon characters. Piccolo was the hardest black character that wasn't black.
Oh yeah.
On anything.
Oh, he. Not the fact that he wasn't black. He was black.
He was black.
He was black.
And he's a black stepdad at that.
Yeah.
Because anybody who took care of Gohan? Piccolo.
Yep. Who got them together, Piccolo?
That was his daddy.
Who got the most swag on the show, Piccolo?
Goku was the dad.
Who was the smartest one that came to like approach your enemies?
Yeah.
Piccolo. He's like, I ain't fit to fuck with him right now.
So, I ain't that strong yet, but I can tell you how to beat him.
Right. And then y'all fuck it up somehow. Of course, black dude clean it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I always say he's a black cat.
Yeah, he's a black cat.
I'm not going to listen to your argument.
Yeah.
Argue with your mama if you don't think like. But as we wrap up, I want to make sure everybody can follow you. How can people keep up with Brew N Circles, you and Rocco?
Yeah. Man, please check me out on Instagram, Brew N, the letter N, and then Circles. Some people like Brew and? No, Brew N. So B-R-E-W.
Yeah, we don't use
Circles.
all our syllables in
No.
AAVE, so a lot of that shit gets dropped out.
Yeah, please check me out on there. I took a little break after the last one because I'm going to start planning for some other things and definitely, you know.
And what's next for Brew N Circles?
So what's next? We're going to get back to the basics. We're going to start paying more circles, brew with circles. Start, you know, highlight because, you know, we're stout season now, so we got to go ahead and
the best season of the year.
So it's time to go ahead and start, you know, highlight definitely a lot of stouts. Start planning for next year, definitely. I'm already got a couple brewers who say that they want to come back and they want to, you know, redeem themselves. I mean,
there's a couple brewers I could probably get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people just like they looking interested to do it. So at doing that, I'm looking to start. I'm looking to start a Twitch channel, just sitting back and, you know, playing some records and just, you know, randomly put the beers out there, you know.
There you go.
Highlights, so, you know, it's just something fun to do, you know. I got an idea called my 45 minutes of funk, so, you know, we'll do that. I'll think about doing all 45s and then just some bunch of beers and stuff like that. So we'll make that happen, man. So when I get out, just make sure you just follow me on Brew N Circles on Instagram. I have Brew N Circles, the website, but pretty much everything from Instagram goes over there. And then on Facebook, I have a Brew N Circles Facebook page as well. So Brew N Circles, just check us out and just make sure you pay attention.
That's Brew with an N, then Circles. Brew N, letter N, Circles.
Yeah, man. So yeah, but thanks for having me here. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, of course. And as
I was waiting for
always,
the moment to get here. I was like, man, what better to be on? So it was a great day to be out here after the season's over with and start planning for the next one. So
I had to catch you. Let him breathe. I had to let him breathe. Catch his breath. Get his life together, and we can move forward. As always, you can follow me at The Bearded Brother on Instagram. Check out my website, www.thebeardedbrother.com, and buy some merch. Talk about beer with me. I'm always open for that. So, as always, grab a few of these beers, your friends, drink up.